Derek Moneyberg here. You're about to download some key money-making philosophies in your head with this next lesson. And once you do, go to moneyberg.com and let's accelerate your success even faster. You know, if we're talking about reality, then it's like, well, you know, how do you really make money in the real world? Is probably, I think business is a team sport. I don't think assholes that try to do stuff by themselves, you know, it don't work out great. You can't be a fucking scumbag and win at the highest levels, you know. I don't like this short-sighted shit. You don't get what you want, you get who you are. You get what you are. If you're a fucking piece of shit, you're not going to have high-quality friends for a long period of time. You know, it's such a pain in the ass to find to get a good quality group of people to begin with. You know, when you have those people around, you don't want to be disappointed. Now, if they're fucking crazy, then you know maybe they're fucking crazy. There's going to be a kook comes up once in a while. You know, you got to have the right people around you. You hang around with a bunch of fucking losers, you're going to be a loser. You start hanging out with a bunch of drug addicts, you're going to be a drug addict. You know, when I was young and I hung out with a bunch of fucking drug addicts, I was never a drug addict, but you know, I drank too much at the time. I had a lot worse habits than I have today. When I was a teenager and you're around those type of people, you know, you're going to indulge in those substances on occasion and you're going to have subpar outcomes. And fuck that. And you know, if you hang out with mediocre people, you know, middle class people, you're going to have middle class outcomes. And you know, that means your family and your friends too. It doesn't mean just your friends, it means your family too. It means your family too. Not just, but my, I didn't say in there like, you know, oh, fucking, you know, but except for your fucking friend from the 6th grade. Or except for your fucking, that loser neighbor guy from back in the day. It's like, no, just get rid of these people. You know, and half the reason you guys come here, whether you know it or not, half the reason you come here is to spend time with each other, to put yourself around other people that are, you know, thinking well and taking action and, you know, working on their projects and doing something fucking substantial with their lives, you know? And, you know, other people that have done stuff and fucked it up, because you're going to fuck up plenty of things. If you're going to be any good at entrepreneurship, you're going to fuck up plenty of things. And I know, you know, a lot of you guys have jobs, half of you have jobs yet, that's fine, it's fine to have a job, but, you know, that should be something you're doing while you're thinking about replacing your income. You know, start finding other ways to replace your income, and you know, and grow that bigger and grow that bigger, and pretty soon you just don't have time for a job anymore. You just outgrew your employment opportunity. You know, it don't make sense to show up to your job anymore if you're making too much money doing something else. So nothing wrong with having a job. Most people are supposed to have a job, but you know, you're limited in the amount of capital that you could have. You're limited in the amount of wealth that you could create. You know, showing up for a fucking job instead of, you know, doing the shit that you want to do. And I'd have a hard time being motivated. I don't know, I'd have a hard time being motivated. I mean, do you guys have that? I imagine most of you do. It's like, are you really fucking motivated to go show up to some fucking office and talk some political correct bullshit? You guys are actually motivated to do that shit? How many of you guys have some of that left in your life? You're still dealing with some of that. You got to go pretend, deal some fantasy land shit in a professional, yeah. And that's fine, you know, part of your income is that. You get paid, you get compensated for that, whether you know it or not. You know, part of your income is being compensated to, you know, be agreeable and get along with the general culture of those people. But I don't know, you know, do you really want to spend your life that way? I don't think it'd be much fun. I don't think it'd be much fun. So, you know, you start, but you got to start with your goals. And then we got to screen through the people of like, well, who are the people that you need to have around you? Who are the people that would help you accomplish your goals? And, you know, start building those teams in the background, because you're like, Derek, what exactly do I do, or how do I prioritize? Is what, you know, start building that social network today. Start building that social network today. Get rid of people that are just not going to be congruent with your macro philosophies, or who you are in your heart, or, you know, deep in your mind. Those things that are not going to change. You know, I'd say highlight those things. Starting priorities, you know, you can't do 10 things at once. You're going to do, you know, a smart person can focus on like 1.5 things. A real dummy can't focus on anything. They're not much good at anything. And that shouldn't be a controversial statement. That's not my opinion. That's just what science says is, you know, if you looked at the IQ test, it's, you know, about 1 out of 8 people, or 1 out of 6 arguably, it's not their fault, but they are fucking stupid. It's not their fault. I'm not assigning blame. But they are fucking stupid. Separate the peasant sympathizers. You probably don't want to hang out with peasant sympathizers either. Are these the most productive people in society? Probably not. Probably not. And then get back to your goals. It's like, well, you're probably going to focus on 1.5 things, you know? So you got to have a primary goal and a secondary goal. And, and after you develop one of those, whatever your primary goal, after you get that up to a high level skill set there, while working on that secondary thing that's coming along well too, well, maybe you'll shift your focus and your secondary might become your primary. Or maybe you'll find a new primary and keep that your secondary. But you try to focus on 10 things, you're going to have, shit results. You're going to have nothing. A human just can't do that. You're not going to do 10 awesome things at the same time. You're just not. You're not going to get, I don't know. One of my buddies here has, black belt in jiu-jitsu, did you do that, and become an expert trumpet player, and go to an Ivy League graduate school, and grow a multi-million-dollar, but did you do that all at the same time? Oh, so yeah, you focus on, a couple things, and you did really, now he did go to university, very smart guy, Andy got his black belt, and which is a pretty serious thing, and something I have a lot of respect for, and but you just can't do 10 of those things at a time. You got so much time in the week, and I don't know, I'd say focus on the couple things that are most important, and there's probably a primary and a secondary. Travis and I are having a conversation about this 2 weeks or thereabouts ago. We were having a conversation of he's just asking, he's kind of inquisitive, or we talk about nerd psychology things, it's kind of all we talk about, And he's like, well, we're talking about how do you keep getting things done while you're exhausted? And, he posited a question along the lines of, just that, to me, it's like, what are some techniques or strategies that I use that when you're already fucking tired and your brain doesn't want to do something anymore, and it's not even a pussy thing, it's just like your brain's not cooperating with, the rest of your spirit, if you will, how do we keep going? And sometimes I just shift gears. It's like, well, all right, I'm probably having diminished marginal utility focusing on that primary thing. Let me just work on the secondary thing for a little while. Let me just shift gears and do something else for a little while. Or, maybe that's a great time to go to the gym and, lifts, get an extra workout in during the week, hit some weights that week, and free up a little capacity later in the week. Maybe my brain doesn't want to do something, but my body will, And about the time you get done with the gym, you got some good endorphins and you're ready to go do something again, aren't you? So, just shift gears into a, if you just can't get the next fucking thing. I knew this since my early 20s at least, is like, when I'd study for midterms, say, during university, I'd focus on, I'd set up little workstations all around the house. So, I did, on the fucking love seat, there'd be, the books and paperwork for one topic, and on one end of a dinner table, the second topic, and on the other end of the dinner table, the third topic, and then the couch, and then over here. And, the one term I took 8 classes, which was too much. It wasn't fun to do that. But, I'm studying for, bing, 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 bing. And I would just, when your brain wouldn't allow you to focus on on the same fucking thing anymore, it's like, all right, well, go do some push-ups and then go look at this other thing for a while. Work on that for a while. You can't do that. All right, I would go do some push-ups and work on one of those other things for a while, So, find the main couple. For me, which not to say that you should do this, not to say that what made me happy would make you happy, but, I found that very useful of, two big things, a primary and a secondary of, working on, for me that, earlier in life that would have been college and business, and sometimes business and college, and sometimes college and women, and sometimes women and business, and sometimes business and women. And, you play around with that, and, pretty soon you have pretty fucking high level skill set at something. And, it's not, after you have that burned in, it's not hard to maintain that. All of you guys are talented at something. Everybody here is already talented at something. After you already have that ingrained and the neural pathways are there and it's habituated and just, you could do some of those things that looks like wizard's work to somebody else, but you're just like, oh, I know what to do. You just do blah, blah, blah. You don't even have to think about it. You just go do the thing, So, and then you maintain that skill set and you go build a new one. And you maintain those skill sets, and you go build a new one. And you go maintain those 3, and you go build a new one. And it's not hard to maintain those. I don't know. I'll get your opinions about it, because I value your opinions in this area. But I kind of have the anchor in your head. If you did something at a very high level, you probably could maintain that at a 85-90% proficiency in the background, and go do something new without much time to maintain that other stuff. It's like, is that pretty fair? That make sense? How do you guys think of it? This video is brought to you by Moneyberg.com. I want you to go to Moneyberg.com right now See where you can meet me live when I come to a city near you. I want you to be part of our audience. I want you to be part of our elite success programs. I want you to be part of the fun. Most importantly, I want you to ensure your success and your financial independence working with me while we travel around the world and help people live their dreams. Go to moneyberg.com. Success is closer than you think. It's waiting for you there.